I want to welcome you guys to Daily Read. I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Today, the State of the Union was sent to me by my mother. She recommended me watch it. This will be the first time I watched it. I thought the reply was kind of funny. But we're going to get into that in a second here. I thought the whole going back and forth, these Republicans are really spinning their heels. The Republican Party is a dying party, and they just ain't rolled over in the grave yet. I think they're going to go the way of the weeds. We're going to get into that. We're going to start the show.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read, your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
President Biden delivering a feisty and animated State of the Union address tonight. Probably one of the most political addresses I have ever heard before a joint chamber at this time, drawing a sharp contrast with Republicans. And while he did not mention Donald Trump's name, he referred to his predecessor more than a dozen times, taunting Republicans at times.
Good evening, America. My name is Katie Britt, and I have the honor of serving the people of the great state of Alabama in the United States Senate. Wesley and I just watched President Biden's State of the Union address from our living room, and what we saw was the performance of...
That stuff is going to get creepy. We're going to go over there too. The whole kitchen scene, how they set everything up, it was real crazy. We're going to talk about that.
President Biden delivering a feisty and animated State of the Union address tonight. Probably one of the most political addresses I have ever heard before a joint chamber at this time, drawing a sharp contrast with Republicans. And while he did not mention Donald Trump's name, he referred to his predecessor more than a dozen times, taunting Republicans at times.
In January 1941, Franklin Roosevelt came to this chamber to speak to the nation, and he said, "I address you at a moment unprecedented in the history of the Union. Hitler was on the march. War was raging in Europe. President Roosevelt's purpose was to wake up Congress and alert the American people that this was no ordinary time. Freedom and democracy were under assault in the world. Tonight, I come to this same chamber to address the nation. Now, it's we who face an unprecedented moment in the history of the Union. And yes, my purpose tonight is to wake up the Congress and alert the American people that this is no ordinary moment either. Not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home as they are today."
Put a pause on that real quick. This doesn't look like a man who's feeble or infirm. I don't know what the people talking about. This man looks like he's ready to fight.
What makes our moment rare is that freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas at the very same time. Overseas, Putin of Russia is on the march, invading Ukraine and sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not. But Ukraine can stop Putin. Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons that it needs to defend itself. That is all. That is all Ukraine is asking. They're not asking for American soldiers. In fact, there are no American soldiers in war in Ukraine, and I'm determined to keep it that way. But now, assistance to Ukraine is being blocked by those who want to walk away from our world leadership. It wasn't long ago when a Republican president named Ronald Reagan thundered, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Now,
Gorbachev, he was a man who he had dirt under his nails too, but at the same time, he did work with Reagan to stop the missiles. I saw in the news, I talked about it a few weeks ago, we saw in the news how they putting bombs in space to destroy satellites. If that happens, America's fucked. Everybody has their phone in their hand. Everybody communicates with each other through the phone, through the computers. If they knock out them satellites, we won't see it coming. This is Donald Trump's doing.
now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, "Do whatever the hell you want." That's a quote. A former president actually said that, bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable. In a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching. Just like history watched 3 years ago on January 6th, when insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American democracy. Many of you are here on that darkest of days. We all saw with our own eyes the insurrectionists were not patriots. They had come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people. January 6th lies about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election posed a great, gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil War. But they failed.
Stop there right there. I did like what he said. For those people who are running around here talking about they big on democracy and all that crap, this is very important. We've had marches and all kinds of stuff. But that January 6th, that was something different. I don't know who this Donald Trump is. I got an idea. I think he's a high-ranking Klan member. He's plugged in some kind of way. He's plugged in some kind of way. But for a man who spent most of his life as a Democrat, then turn around and take over the Republican Party like he did, there's something up with that. There's something wrong here. But that many people, most of them, I'm gonna flat out say it, most of them racist bigots. They see America slipping out of the hands of white power. And for all the talk of people who that's what the whole abortion thing is about. Let's get this straight. That's what the whole abortion thing is about. They're trying to ensure that the white race continue on. There's more white people that get abortions than black. That doesn't mean we don't do it. That doesn't mean we won't take a female down there and get rid of the baby and all of that. But it's rare. It's not like we're doing it all the time like white people are doing it. But it's backfiring on them. That whole IVF stuff, more white people get IVFs. Black people just go out and have sex and have babies. There's more white people running around here with IVF than anything. And now that they stopped abortions, claiming religious pretenses, when in reality what it's about them wanting to get the numbers back up, because we blacks make up about 10 to 15% of the population. Then you have all other races in this country, and that's killing the white population. There was a woman, I did a show about a year ago, of a white woman who said she worked at the Ronald Reagan administration. And she walked in the room when they was having a meeting talking about the white numbers and how they was going to get the numbers back up. That was one of the ways. They wasn't worried about abortions back then. It was more, let's get rid of this baby to keep my wife from finding out. Now all of a sudden they big on stopping abortions. They don't care nothing about that. They care nothing about that at all. What he said is very important. There's two things going on here. I can see the pattern. There's whites who are, there's money involved too, but there's whites who want the population to stay above the normal white side. Okay, you got that what's going on. Then, in order to do that, you gotta put judges in place. You gotta have allies around the world. Because when you look at Russia, that's one of the only European countries that doesn't have a big black population where blacks are just out there doing big things. All the countries you see black Africans everywhere. But when you look at Russia, even in Ukraine, you can see black people. But when it comes to Russia, they stay hidden. They're there. Make no mistake about it. Blacks are there. Black and brown people, Chinese people are there. But when you see the news, when you see people talking about politics, when you see certain things going on in Russia, that's why these people are clinging to Russia so heavy. That's like the last bastion.
America stood. America stood strong and democracy prevailed. We must be honest. The threat to democracy must be defended. My predecessor and some of you here seek to bury the truth about January 6th. I will not do that. This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country only when you win.
What's sad about that whole insurrection thing? Most of them people were dupes. I'm going to say it. Most of those people were there. They're dupes. They're out there ranting and raving about America's going to shit when there's forces moving behind the scenes that's trying to keep white power in this country. Like I said before on a previous show, we never cut the head off the snake. I'm not saying we would have eliminated all racism. That wouldn't have happened. But if we would have hung them people from the nearest tree, those Confederates that led the first Civil War, we wouldn't have had that insurrection. There's still going to be your flag, Confederate flag waving, cornbread eating bigots out there. You're going to have that, and you're going to have black supporters of that. Now, I'm going to get on that because I am a black person. And it hurts me to see it when I see minorities out here who are in the pocket of these people. it hurts to see that. And the reason why it hurts to see that is because when you have people like that that's in the pocket of these people that are minorities, it hurts you. They're doing it for monetary reasons, not understanding that these people are coming for you next. Once they get rid of the minorities in this country, once they see that, okay, they got all this under control, they coming for you. They coming for you. They're not gonna play no games with it. They're coming for you. And I don't think these people realize that. They should understand it. They don't. They don't get it. I'm trying to share the screen out here. We have this technical difficulty. Okay, here we go. But the minorities that roll with this, it's for monetary issues. They're either rich. The majority of the black people and you know, colored people that you see riding with this whole Donald Trump movement, MAGA movement, they can say outside of their mouth it's all about taxes. They liars. It's all about monetary gains that they have. I just now got into stocks real heavy. And I've seen the slavery. I've seen how, you know, they have been manipulating the stock market and the system so long to where they're making so much money while everybody else is poor, don't have nothing. And then you have the minorities out here that's rag with this stuff because they have an understanding that it's monetary gain in this. When you see those black pastors who aren't really pastors, when you see certain people that jump on the Trump bandwagon, it's because if Donald Trump becomes president, they feel like they're going to get some kind of monetary gain off of this. They don't care about social issues. They don't care about the MAGA bigots. They don't care nothing about that. It's all about monetary gains. This man right here, President Biden, one of the greatest presidents of all time. Low key, he has done so much for this country in the last 3 years, and he's done it real quiet. You don't see no scandals. They trying to make one. You don't see no problems. Trying to make problems. He's one of the greatest presidents. The Democrats have a messaging problem.
As I've done ever since being elected to office, I ask all of you without regard to party to join together and defend democracy. Remember your oath of office is defending against all threats, foreign and domestic. Respect.
Foreign and domestic.
Respect free and fair elections. Restore trust in our institutions. And make clear political violence has absolutely no place in America, zero place. Again, it's not hyperbole to suggest history is watching. We're watching. Your children and grandchildren will read about this day and what we do. In November, my team began serious negotiations with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? That conservatives got together and said it was a good bill? I'll be darned. That's amazing. That bipartisan vote would hire 1,500 more security agents and officers, 100 more immigration judges to help tackle the backload of 2 million cases.
This is the problem Democrats have right here. He waited until this speech to tell what was in that bill. Okay? Understand what's going on. They have a messaging problem. The Republicans get out here and rip and rap all day long on the airwaves, and the Democrats don't do that. It's a disconnect. Something's wrong. I'm not saying that they should be on screen all the time. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they should be on television all the time. But they have a messaging problem. These people are sitting back, letting the Republicans run the show. When the Republicans can't win nothing, if the Democrats don't let them. They had a bill that the Republicans, to stop the illegal immigrants from coming across the border, they had a bill that the Republicans said was good, the ones that worked on the bill. But because Donald Trump wanted to run on the bill, he told them not to vote for it. They didn't vote for it. So now they're running around saying that it was a bad bill. That's not true. Half of these people, everything happens comes from a place of victory. Because what happens is if you deport all of those illegal immigrants, where your housekeepers going? Where your orange is going to get picked. You think you're finna get these people off the block that's finna go out there and pick oranges? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Get back to
4,300 more asylum officers and new policies so they can resolve cases in 6 months instead of 6 years now. What are you against? 100 more high-tech drug detection machines to significantly increase the ability to screen and stop vehicles smuggling fentanyl into America. That's killing thousands of children. This bill will save lives and then order the border. It will also give me and any new president new emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming. The Border Patrol Union has endorsed this bill. The Federal Chamber of Commerce is, You're saying no, look at the facts. I know you know how to read. I believe that given the opportunity for a majority in the House and Senate would endorse the bill as well, a majority right now. But unfortunately, politics has derailed this bill so far. I'm told my predecessor called members of Congress and the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me and a political loser for him. It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Look at this clown. That's bigotry. Nothing but bigotry. And then as soon as they deport all of these Hispanics and Mexicans, who you think they're finna come to pick your orange juice, the oranges, make orange juice? They're gonna come try to get blacks. Then you got blacks running around talking about Mexicans taking the job. Mexicans ain't taking the job. Them jobs, nobody want them jobs. They're not paying nothing. Nobody's gonna be your housekeeper. Nobody's gonna pick your oranges, except for the Hispanics. Except for all the Mexicans coming across the board. As soon as you deport them people, who you gonna get out there? Now you're gonna complain about the price of orange juice too high.
Lincoln Riley an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth it taking the chance of the $8,000. But if it's only 6 months, 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and go all that way knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly. Folks, I would respectfully...
Look at this clown. Black Republican. Black Republican. Makes me sick. Disgusting. Guy like that right there, it's about money with him. He knows he's sitting next to bigots. He knows it. He has no shame about it.
To suggest my Republican friends owe to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now. And if my predecessors watching, instead of paying politics and pressuring members of Congress to block the bill, join me in telling the Congress to pass it. We can do it together. But that's what he apparently here's what he will not do. I will not demonize immigrants saying they are poison in the blood of our country. I will not.
Hitler said that the Jews poison the blood of his country.
Separate families. I will not ban people because of their faith. Unlike my predecessor on my first day in office, I introduced a comprehensive bill to fix our immigration system. Take a look at it. It has all these and more. Secure the border. Provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers. And so much more. But unlike my predecessor, I know who we are as Americans. We're the only nation in the world with a heart and soul that draws from old and new. Home to Native Americans, whose ancestors have been here for thousands of years. Home to people of every place, from every place on earth. They came freely. Some came in chains. Some came when famine struck, like my ancestral family in Ireland. Some to flee persecution, to chase dreams that are impossible anywhere but here in America. That's America. And we all come from somewhere. But we're all Americans. Look, folks, we have a simple choice. We can fight about fixing the border, or we can fix it. I'm ready to fix it. Send me the border bill now. Like most Americans, I believe Roe v. Wade got it right. I thank Vice President Harris for being an incredible leader defending reproductive freedom. And so much more. My predecessor came to office determined to see Roe v. Wade overturned. He's the reason it was overturned, and he brags about it. Look at the chaos that has resulted. Joining us tonight is Kate Cox.
Chaos. Now the people are feeling it down in Alabama. People can't get a hold of their eggs. And they froze the eggs so they could have children later on. They can't control their eggs. None of that. Sick work.
The wife and mother from Dallas. She's become pregnant again and had a fetus of a fatal condition. Her doctor told Kate that her own life and her ability to have children in the future were at risk if she didn't act. Because Texas law banned her ability to act, Kate and her husband had to leave the state to get what she needed. What her family got through should have never happened as well, but it's happening to too many others. There are state laws banning the freedom to choose, criminalizing doctors, forcing survivors of rape and incest to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom. My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following, and with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you are. Now our economy is literally the envy of the world. 15 million new jobs in just 3 years. A record. A record. Unemployment at 50-year lows. A record 16 million Americans are starting small businesses.
This is what I mean when I say Democrats have a message problem. All of this stuff he's been doing for the last 3 years, but the Democrats have been silent about it. They didn't sit back waiting for the courts and judges to persecute Donald Trump to get him out of the way. The man has money, and he has foreign backers. Money can hold off court cases. Money can do things that people with no money can't do. For them to be sitting back waiting to bring this message out of how great Joe Biden really has done a good job, it's sad. I think they didn't wait too long, though. I don't think they waited too long. I think still they have a chance of winning. But he should be putting his message out already. It shouldn't take too long to put the message out. It's sad.
And each one is a little act of hope. With historic job growth and small business growth for Black and Hispanics and Asian Americans, 800,000 new manufacturing jobs in America and counting. Where is the reason we can't be the manufacturing capital of the world? We are, we will. More people have health insurance today. More people have health insurance today than ever before. The racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years. Wages keep going up, inflation keeps coming down. Inflation has dropped from 9% to 3%, the lowest in the world, and 10 even lower. The landing is and will be soft. And now, instead of importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Right here in America, where they belong. I've known our North Star. The very idea of America is that we're all created equal. It deserves to be treated equally throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I won't walk away from it now. I'm optimistic. I really am. I'm optimistic, Nancy. My fellow Americans, the issue facing our nation isn't how old we are, it's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas that only take us back. You lead America, the land of possibilities, You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done. Tonight you've heard mine. I see a future where defending democracy, you don't diminish it. I see a future where we restore the right to choose and protect our freedoms, not take them away. I see a future.
Let's get to the Republican response. If I have it, then cue it up.
Of resentment, revenge, and retribution.
I didn't cue it up. I'm gonna have to do a separate show on the Republican response. But if you look closely, people, you can see the pattern. You can see what's going on if you really pay attention. Like I said, you have minorities out here who are with the Republicans on Donald Trump, and they're preaching this bull in the communities about how, why should you vote for the Democrat? What have Democrats done for black people? Understand, he and his sons, well, I can't speak on the one that's deceased in the military, but the crackhead, cocaine head, his other son, they have dirty nails. But he's a better choice than Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a bigot. He's always been a bigot. He gets that from his father, and his father got it from his father. Them people come from Germany, and Germany has a history of being bigots. Now Germany has changed. You can go to Germany right now as a black person and be well received, well loved. But the history of bigotry is there. It's all in Germany. That's the Germany that Donald Trump came from. Make no mistake about it. Biden is a better choice. And if you pick Donald Trump, crazy, especially if you're a minority, you know. And I get it. And I get it. I totally get it. It's about money. Money moves mountains in this country. People that got money can come in and do whatever. They want you to have morals when you don't have money. It's laughable. It's laughable. Think about that. If you got money, you don't have to have morals. People don't care about morals. You don't have money, they want you to have morals. It's laughable. People try to hold you to a higher standard when you don't have money. If Donald Trump was poor, or was worth maybe $100,000 less, people would expect more out of Donald Trump. But because he has money, that's why I said I get it. I understand why some blacks are riding with the whole Republican wave. They're trying to get in with the money, or they already have money. Well, who has the morals here? Who has the moral high ground? Is you? Me? Who has the moral high ground? We talking about morality now. You want everybody around you to have morals that don't have money. But when it comes to money, when it comes to power, when it comes to organization, they don't care about morals. It's whatever. They can do whatever. It's sick work. But this is Daily Reading. I'm out. We'll do a whole nother show on Republican response.